am I singing? Hey beautiful people, what is up and welcome back to my little corner of the interwebs. I'm Jamila, and here in my little corner of the world, here in my little corner of Beyonce's good internet, I like to talk about high-end luxury and indie makeup and how to get it at the best prices. I don't know why I'm already laughing. Jesus. Anyways, if that sounds like something you're interested in, I would absolutely love if you would consider subscribing and joining the fam. You know, I do know why. I slept last night. And I know that sounds very basic, but when you have a good night's sleep, you realize your energy just be like, just sleep. Get some good sleep, people. Like, seriously, we all need to sleep better because it makes the world a difference. And this is already going off on a tangent. So let's reel it back in. Okay, so you guys already saw from the thumbnail, this is going to be a cosmetics company store haul and a story time. Just a little story time. Kind of advice, maybe. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But essentially, when I started the year off, I asked you guys to like help me think about what are new different kinds of videos that you'd be interested in seeing, because I can't afford to and have no interest in continuously buying makeup to do reviews. I'm not a review channel. I understand that if you've been with me from the very beginning, maybe that's what you came for, but I don't want to be on that buy, spend trend, because that's just not me. It's just not me, and you guys already know how I feel about makeup prices. So, one of you guys actually suggested me taking you along to my cosmetics company store. And I'm saying this is not a buy video, but this is a haul. So, wow, we are off to a great start. Anyways, one of you guys suggested taking you guys along with me to my cosmetics company store, because I tend to find really great things at my CCO, and I know not all CCOs tend to be as well stocked as mine. I think that there are a couple of reasons for that. I live in Philadelphia, and the CCO that I go to is in the Philadelphia Mills Mall. I think it's called the Franklin Mills Mall now. I don't know. If you are in Philly, I know somebody's going to yell at me for getting it wrong either way. But it either was the Franklin Mills and then became Philadelphia Mills Mall, or one or the other. I'm not from here, so I'm going with Philadelphia Mills Mall because I think that's right. I think that's whatever. So, it's in the Philadelphia Mills Mall, which is an outlet mall, and it's not exactly a very popular mall. It's not exactly the nicest mall, but it's kind of nondescript. And I actually found this CCO because in the mall, there's also a USPS. So I tend to go to that USPS a lot of times when I'm dropping off packages from my Mercari purchases. Which, fun fact, I have updated my Mercari store with all of my 2023 declutter palettes. So if you're interested, I will link that down below. No obligation to buy anything, you guys. Just if you wanted to see all the stuff that I got rid of, it's in that store. But yeah. So I tend to go there to drop off my Mercari purchases for a couple of reasons. The store is open 9 to 5. The USPS there is open 9 to 5, including on Saturdays. And I found that other USPS stores close at like noon on a Saturday. So this one opens a lot longer, so it's easier to go there. Anyway, it seems like that CCO, because it's not in a typical outlet mall, which for me, I found most of them tend to be those outdoor outlets, it's a lot less frequented. Like, every time I go there, it's like empty. Like, it's very clear, not a lot of people there. And they tend to have a pretty decent amount of stock. And because it's not busy, I actually have formed really nice relationships with the sales associates there. So I want to give you guys like the little baby story time from when I went there. And then I want to cut to some clips of the store to show you guys the products that are in my store, because a lot of you guys were curious about it. And then I'll end this off with showing you guys my haul, which I didn't pick up a lot of stuff, but I also spent like almost $200. So there's that. And this is going to be the shortest story time ever because it's not that long. But anyway, like I said, I have a really good relationship with the sales associates in my CCO, and that is because I used to go there very often. Like I said, the USPS is in there, so when I would sell a Mercari product, I would drop off the package at the USPS and then go over to the CCO because they were basically next door to each other. So I found myself constantly popping into the store just to see what they had. And I would always go in when they had major sales. So whenever they did their 6 for $60 sale, or there was an extra 20% off or something, I would go in just to see what they had. And with me going to the store so frequently, I actually ended up having really great relationships with these sales associates there, who were, well, there were at least 3 black women there. So for the most part, the store is staffed by black women. So we would get to talking because it was always like a very, very quiet store. I don't know how they're still in business because it's never packed. So we would often chat a lot of the times. And that's how I found out about a lot of things, including one, that there is a cosmetics company warehouse that you can visit in, is it Bristol or I think it's Bristol, in Bristol. And they have much larger stock, including La Mer and Jo Malone. I've been to that warehouse a couple of times, and it is open to the public if you wanted to go shop there. And they have all of the luxury stuff, much greater stock. They don't open on the weekends because it's their warehouse, so you have to go Monday through Friday. But whenever I want to see what they have with La Mer, or they have a much larger Tom Ford selection, they also have a ton of Jo Malone, I tend to go to that store. So that's how I found out about the warehouse and that it was open to the public. And that's how I also found out about a lot of their rewards programs. So one, the CCO now has a online store, and then two, there's a text program where they will text you a bundle offer once a day, and you can either purchase it or not. But you can also receive texts from individual stores. And I am signed up at this store, and they have my information as well as my preferences. So they know that I love Tom Ford. I love the Tom Ford fragrances. I love the Tom Ford makeup. So whenever they get new Tom Ford products, I literally get a text that says, basically hey girl, these are the new Tom Ford products that we have in stock. Are you interested in any of them? And we'll put them aside for you. And these women are so nice that they will even let me know when there's a sale. So for example, there was this beautiful MAC Cosmetics makeup artist case, beauty makeup artist case. I don't know why I bought it, but it was stupid expensive. I think the case was $400 or something like that. And at the CCO, it's typically 40% off of makeup. Depending on how high you spend, you get another 50%. You get 50% off instead of the 40%. So with the makeup case being so expensive, it was going to be 50% off. And I said, that's too much for me right now. Would you let me know when it goes on clearance? And they didn't have to say yeah. But they literally texted me when it went on clearance, and I had an extra 20% off coupon. So I was able to buy the case when it went on super sale. And that's what happens when you form really great relationships with these sales associates. And because they're people too. And just don't be an asshole. Treat people kindly. When you go in, say hello, say good morning, say good afternoon, and just be nice. Because these are people who work hard, who deal with a lot of shit every day. And just don't be an asshole. I mean, that's a whole other thing. But, so, I knew that they had gotten these two new Tom Ford quads. It's actually Peach Dawn, Golden Hour, and Island Haze, which I should have picked up, but I might go back for it. But essentially, they'd gotten these two new Tom Ford quads, as well as some new lipsticks. And they gotten basically the entire line of the Traceless Matte, not the Traceless Matte, Soft Radiance. What is it? Nope, this one. Yes, the Shade and Illuminate Concealer. So they'd gotten that entire line of new Tom Ford products, and I said, okay, great, I'll come on Friday to check it out. And as I was going on the CCO website, I realized that they were having an additional 15% off sale that was ending that same day. So I was like, oh no, I'm just gonna pop in today because I want to get that extra 15%. So I get to the store, pretty empty per usual, and there's a group of about 3 men in there that are shopping as well. Now, when I'm in the store and there are other people in there, I typically will just go about my business and look at things and wait for them to finish with the other customers because I'm not in a rush, and we will typically chat or whatever, and I let them do their way. And this poor sales associate, she was there by herself, so she's already short-staffed. It's literally only her in the store, and these men are constantly asking her questions like, do you have this? Do you have that? And she's like, that's all we have. That's it. Do you want it or not? And she's like, yeah, we have more in the back, but you'll have to come back tomorrow because I'm working by myself. I cannot leave basically the register, the store unattended. And these men have the audacity to ask her, could we go look in the boxes? Now, I turned around and I'm talking about 3 grown hardback men, So I'm like, because at this point, she has said multiple times, I'm working by myself. What we have is whatever's on display, because obviously, if you are manning a store, you can't just walk into the back where you store the products and leave the register unattended. You can't. So it's like, y'all could either come back tomorrow or not, because what we have out is what we have out. I can't go anywhere, because you would literally have to like lock up the store, go in the back. That's what it is. So when homeboy asked her, like, could I go look in the back and look through the boxes, I was like, so, and she was like, no. And you know what? At one point, she did actually go in the back to find a product for them, because they kept asking her and kept hounding her, and I was just so annoyed. And eventually, they bought their stuff and they left. But it was just like so frustrating for me, because I'm like, I felt frustrated for her, because she'd been continuously saying, this is what we have. I can't go into the back. I can't leave the store unattended. But yeah, that was like the quick story time, and it was just like a reminder to be nice, be kind, be pleasant, because like, nobody deserved that. Like, she was just trying to do her job, mind her business, so she could go home. But anyway, let's cut to the clips of me shopping in store, and then I'll come back to show you guys what I picked up. Okay, guys, so for the shop with me, I'm going to do a voiceover, because I could not talk and film in store, because I was way too scared. So we started off in the Bobbi Brown section. They did have a decent size of the foundations, and I just want to point out that the prices that you see are the retail prices, but everything is either 40 or 50% off depending on how much you spend. So after that, I moved to this little clearance section in the store. Most stores have a clearance section where everything is 75% off. So they had a couple of the Too Faced foundations, these really cute Estee Lauder quads, which I was pretty interested in. They're $58 initially, but they would be 75% off. They also had some old Too Faced lipsticks and these Tom Ford foundations. I did end up picking up one of these. These typically retail for $150. So to get them for 75% off is insane. I ended up picking up 10.5 Mocha. I also have that in the Traceless Matte Foundation stick, so I knew that that would be the perfect shade for me. They had a couple of Clinique products, tons of their skincare as well as their foundations. I don't think this Clinique makeup sells really well. And funny enough, they also had a couple of the Bobbi Brown foundation in clearance as well. One thing you will notice is that there'll be some of the same products for full price versus clearance, and I think that's just due to how long they've been sitting out or how long they've been at the store. So here you see more of their clearance products, ton of the MAC singles. These are always on sale, and I found that they have an insane MAC collection. Next up, more Too Faced stuff. This is also a really huge part of the store from what I've seen. This is the Italian Spritz palette. I don't think that got great reviews. There's also the Better Than Chocolate palette, which I also don't think got great reviews. And I think this was the last holiday palette, which was pumpkin spice. And they had a pretty decent stock for each of these. They're typically $54, I believe, but you would get them for 40 to 50% off. And they actually restocked the Born This Way concealer. This is amazing. They had been out of the shades that I like. I think it's butterscotch and caramel for some time now. But they've restocked pretty much all of the shades. And one of the best things about this concealer is that it actually is about half the size of a foundation, so you get a ton of product. This was a new foundation to me, but I think it's been out for some time now. This is the Healthy Glow foundation. I think it's more of a tinted moisturizer / just glowy foundation, but I'm not in the market for a new foundation. And they did have the Born This Way matte foundation. I tried this. I wasn't in love with it. Quite frankly, the Too Faced foundation formula, it just isn't for me anymore. But I did use it several years ago. But overall, they're really well stocked. This is the original formula. This is $40. No, I think I was the shade Chai, but I found that the Too Faced foundations tend to be very yellow, borderline orange, and they're just too warm. Okay, next up, the super exciting part, in my opinion, is Tom Ford section. They had a bunch of the Traceless Matte Concealers. Those are about $60 a piece. They had that Raw Desire, like face and eye quad. And then they had a bunch, well, not a bunch, but a decent amount of the quads. Island Haze was the one in the golden package. I did not pick it up. They even had Honeymoon in the limited edition, like Valentine's collection with the hearts in it. Honestly, I find the hearts a little bit tacky, so I was not really interested. But the quads retail for $90 originally, but at the store you'll get them either 40 or 50% off. This is either Peach Haze or Golden Dawn. That's from the summer collection from last year. And they do have some of the more recent quads, in my opinion. Next, really fun find. This is the concealer to the, I think it's the Soft Radiance foundation. The original price of that, I believe, is $75. Yeah, $75. But you could get them either 40 or 50% off. They had those two beautiful highlighters, which I do believe was a part of the spring or summer collection last year as well. And they got a couple new shades in the liquid lipstick. And they also did have a number of the bullet lipsticks as well. These are in the gold packaging as the special sort of limited edition collection. And they have this really beautiful, like, sparkly exterior that's really nice. But it's just like an overspray, so it goes away once you put it on your lips. This section is sort of like the back of the store. They have a couple of fragrances there. They also have some fragrances out with testers. The Erin fragrances I find are really, really nice. They are on the pricey side, but not as expensive as the Tom Ford, and they smell so beautiful. I think that they have a lot more like summer, spring scents. They're the type of light florals that I like without it being like too overly feminine. And then as you guys saw in that case, there's a ton of Tom Ford fragrances. Now, in front of that case, there's what I would consider the hair care section. So they have a bunch of products from Aveda, including like head scarves, comb, shampoo, moisturizer, all the things that you would need for your hair care. I typically don't buy any of the hair care products from the store because I don't think they cater for black hair. And I like my design essentials. This was a cute bag though. I don't think there was anything in it, but the bag was really nice. I think it might have been like 15 or bucks or something like that, and I don't need another makeup bag, so I just put it back. And here we have more hair care products. I did end up grabbing this comb, and you'll see it in the haul. The original price of this is $15. I think it's just standard plastic, but honestly, it felt so sturdy. And this seemed to be a collection with a Asian designer. So they had the comb, the headscarf, and some other products in that specific print. And it definitely said Aveda times, I think, Philip something. Okay, moving along in the store. This is more fragrances and more Estee Lauder skincare. So they do have a number of sets in the store. So if you're looking to buy something for someone else as a gift, they have a number of gift sets that some of them come with gift bags as well. Then there are sort of like two MAC sections. So there are some MAC holiday sets. I believe this is from last year. So you'll get a lip liner, a lipstick, and a liquid lipstick and a bullet lipstick. Or this one had a mascara, liner, and some eyeshadow. There's the double mascara set. So there are a ton of different MAC sets that you can find. I also found these lipsticks from MAC that I hadn't seen before, and they looked to be like this new bullet. It looked really nice. I was actually quite interested in them. I'm not sure what the formula was for that. I think it might have been the Powder Kiss formula, so kind of light. And then on this side, they seem to have all of their collabs. So they had the Whitney Houston collab, which I wasn't particularly impressed with. But they did have the two blushes and the highlight, as well as this little, it looked like a contour highlight combo, but I don't know what it was, if I'm being honest, you guys. I'm not even sure if this is a bronzer. Sorry, this voiceover is going so left, but I was just trying to get as much clips as I could of what was in store for you guys. And then we have just a couple of like mascaras from the brand, along with some liners, brow pencils, brow products. And more MAC products. They have some old face products at the bottom. On this side is the other side of the MAC shelves. MAC has a pretty sizable like display in this in this store. Now, one of these store associates did tell me that this was actually a really good, I don't know if it's like foundation slash concealer thing. And they finally got it restocked in more shades. And then they have all of the different types of foundations that you could ever want or use from MAC. Also, a ton of their like setting spray, skin prep type stuff was available. Then they had this like $20 section, so everything in this little shelf was $20. So there was the Cicapair hair cream from Dr. Jart. I probably pronounced that wrong. A hair mask from Bumble. I think it's Bumble and Bumble. I did end up picking this one up as well because I don't like deep conditioning my hair and having to wait, but this one you put it in at night, you sleep, and then you wake up, and then you rinse it out in the morning. So being able to deep condition while I sleep seemed like a good idea. So I ended up grabbing this one. I did try to see like what hair it was best for. Couldn't really find it, but it was only $20, so I thought, why not? And then moving along, there's the Clinique section. Clinique kind of has two sections in the store, one for the makeup and one for the skincare. I've never tried their skincare, and quite frankly, I've never heard people really talk about it, so I don't know if it's good. I'm lying. I have tried their makeup. I do have a couple of products from them. So there was this highlighter, I believe, and I think it was from the Year of the Dragon, but I couldn't see anything in there, really. And they did have these small palettes. But for the most part, I don't shop Clinique makeup. I do like their skincare, though. They have really, really nice skincare, especially in my opinion, if you have dry skin. I feel like they have a lot of products that are really focused on making sure that your skin is nice and hydrated and supple. And typically, their products are quite gentle and great for sensitive skin. You also know the cleansing balm in that sort of purple container. That is a tried and true for many folks. So if you need a good cleansing balm, I would say check those out. I would only recommend buying the Clinique cleansing balm on sale though, because I think in like reality, it's not the best one and you can get a better one for cheaper. But if you find it on sale, it's definitely worth it. This was new to me when I went to the store this time. They had a whole Dr. Jart section. I actually didn't know Estee Lauder owned Dr. Jart, and I know that this is a very, very expensive brand. So they had these, I don't use it, but they had a number of like creams and serums. They also had Darpin, which is another really expensive skincare brand. I believe that this cream was like, yeah, it was $310 for that little jar, you guys. And then all the serums and the other stuff was over $100, so like $140, $150. It was really expensive. I'm not familiar with the brand, and you guys know I love my skincare cheap, so there was that. Then we move on to the Smashbox section, which is really small. In case you didn't know, Smashbox took over the Becca highlighter formulas. So you can still get your champagne pop. It just is like Smashbox times Becca. So champagne pop is still available. This one that I'm holding up now is actually champagne pop. Oh, they kind of renamed it to C pop, which honestly, champagne pop is too light for me. So I didn't get the hype because it definitely didn't work on my complexion. Then, as you see, there's a ton of Smashbox foundations, some of their gift sets, some of their, even more of their foundations. This one in the bottle, the kind of square bottle, I was like, is this new? Because I hadn't heard of this, and it actually looked quite nice. So I think the original price was $35 or $53. $45. I'm trying to see the price, but I can't really see. Oh, and they also had this kind of like brush concealer, a ton of their lipsticks, so a ton of products from the Smashbox line, but I don't feel like a lot of people are checking them out. Swinging back around just to show you guys more of the Bobbi Brown, and I don't think I showed you guys the Bobbi Brown skincare. You guys know that the face base is like well known and loved, which honestly it's just a really expensive moisturizer, but a good moisturizer. I will give it that. And they didn't have a ton of Bobbi Brown like eyeshadow products or anything like that, or face products, which I would love to see them get more Bobbi Brown in, because I do think it's such an underrated brand, and I really, really love their formula. I have like 2 palettes from them. But they mainly have like the foundations and concealers and whatnot. But I would love to see more of the like eyeshadow and face products. On this section, we have the Bumble and Bumble brand, which is just more hair care. And you guys already know I'm not really checking for the hair care here. Then this section is actually their, I don't know what it's called, but essentially you get to pick like 6 sample size products and you pay $15 and then you get a little gift bag. What I was really surprised by is that they had 2 Tom Ford fragrances as options. And you can pick 2 of the same thing. So if you wanted to, you could technically do 4 Tom Ford fragrances. And that's pretty much it, you guys. That is all of the products that were in my cosmetics company store. So now I'm just going to transition to the rest of the video so you guys can see what I picked up and see my full CCO haul. Okay, so I'm back. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the store. I don't know, I always feel very awkward filming in stores, even though it's like normal, and even though I again knew these people very well and I'm always in the store, it feels weird to me. So I hope you guys appreciate that I did it. And I'm gonna try to do more of that because, like I said, I'm trying to sprinkle in these different types of content. But I'm sure you all are here for the haul. So I did end up picking up a few things, as well as got a pretty solid discount. So I'm going to tell you guys what I paid, the retail price of these products. And you know, going back to a little bit to like the story time and why it is so important to treat people with respect and with kindness, I'm in that store literally all the time. So much so that when I go there, there's typically a 20% off coupon that you get when you make a purchase, that allows you to save 20% off of like your next purchase. And every time I go there, I forget my coupon. And the sales associates are always so nice, and they're like, we know you are always here, and they give me it anyway. That doesn't happen to me in any other CCO. Even if I tell them I know what the code is, even if I tell them I forget it, they don't care. But this is the one store because they're, you know, the folks here are super familiar. They always give me my 20% off discount because I always forget my coupon, and samples, which again doesn't happen anywhere else. I don't know if like the other stores don't do, because I've been to a couple of CCOs, to be quite frank, and I never get samples. It's only when I go to this store. So I don't know. But if you are in the Philadelphia area, they have the best customer service. They have the nicest staff and the best bang for your buck, in my opinion. I did not meet the threshold to get the free gifts, but I still got some pretty amazing products. So this is almost a Tom Ford exclusive haul, with the exception of 2 things. The first thing that I picked up was the Shade and Illuminate foundation. And you're like, why? You already have a full bottle here. Now, this is in the shade 9.7 Cool Dusk, and you can probably already tell from the name why this doesn't make sense. I am very warm. This has a very cool undertone, so in terms of my complexion, it doesn't work. It can work because, as with everything, once you add your powder, your concealer, and all the other things, you can make something work. You can make a foundation work. But if you want to talk about shade match, that wasn't it. So I picked up that same foundation in the shade 10.5 Mocha, which honestly is an amazing shade match for me. And hopefully I don't get any lighter, because if I do, it's going to be a mess. But this is 10.5 Mocha. This is 9.7 Cool Dusk. So you can see it's not too far off, but this one is a cool undertone. You can probably see that. And this one is a warm undertone. And quite frankly, the 10.5 Mocha is what I have in the Traceless Matte Foundation stick. So this is what I'm wearing today. The stick is what I'm wearing today on my face. This is 10.5 Mocha. So obviously 10.5 is my shade in Tom Ford. And do you want to hear the best thing about this foundation? She was 75% off. 75% off plus an additional 20% off. Y'all, they basically gave me this for free. So let's go to the receipts. Now, this foundation retails for $150. Yes, ma'am. You heard that right. It is a $150 foundation. With the 75% off plus the additional 20% off, I paid $30 for that foundation. Where can you get a foundation for $30? And I'm talking about a regular price foundation, not even luxury foundation. Tell me where you could get a foundation for $30. Nowhere. If y'all don't visit y'all CCO, just saying. So that was the first thing that I picked up. Next, I picked up 2 Tom Ford quads. I know they all look the same, but I don't know, something about a Tom Ford quad gets me. So the first one that I picked up is number 4 Golden Hour. This literally came out last year, summer, and I know Sophia C's Beauty has done a review of this, so who else? Sophia C's Beauty has done a review of this. I've seen a couple of creators review this, and it was a part of a trio that came out in the summertime, and 2 of them have now come to my CCO. I don't know if the third is going to come, but I picked up the 2 that was there. So it comes in this kind of updated Tom Ford packaging. Sorry, all of my ring lights are on, as you can see. But with the new packaging, you get the Tom Ford here. The old packaging does not have that. And here we have the color story. This is in Tom's wet to dry formula. Hold on, let me see if I can get the light to adjust a little bit so that it's not so bright. There we go. So this is a more true representation of the color. And then the second one is Peach Dawn. The third one from this palette, this release, is Hazy Sensuality. So that's the one that I don't have. So this is Peach Dawn. Again, I'm trying to block out the light, so this is a more accurate representation. Very, very warm color story. So as you can see, both of these are very, very similar. Again, this is in Tom's wet to dry formula, which I know people typically prefer. Quite frankly, I think I prefer his regular formula, but this is nice too. So we have the foundation and 2 quads, which I just placed up in the wrong order. And then oh, I didn't tell you guys this. So the quads retail for $90 a piece. With the 50% off and the additional 20%, I paid $36 for each quad. Okay, now that I'm done with my little shimmy shimmy, these next 2 aren't very exciting, but I'm excited by it. So I actually picked up this Aveda Time Philip Lim comb. It's a comb. And really nice packaging, I'll say that. How do I even, oh, why is this comb? Okay, oh, here's how we open it. You gotta like take this piece off. It's very intricate packaging for a comb, but it's beautiful. So this is the Aveda and Philip Lim comb. Aveda is one of the brands under the CCO umbrella. I don't really tend to buy a lot of hair care from those brands because I'm black. Surprise. No, but you know, being a black woman, I tend to purchase a lot of my hair care products from black owned brands or black hair care brands, I should say. Design Essentials is my favorite. So brands like Aveda, I don't think specifically cater to black hair, so I tend to not look at any hair care products from other brands. But the reason why this caught my eye is because this is a detangling comb, and when I tell y'all this thing is thick, I actually have like 3 of these. But they're this very, very flimsy plastic. So when I run the comb through my hair, it bends. And it's not like bending, it could possibly break, but it bends in a way that I'm not comfortable. So this, honestly, when I felt this, it felt like it felt so sturdy that I was like, okay, this could work on my hair. Let me see what they say about this. I mean, I think that this is just recycled plastic. So it says, Aveda's collaboration with 3.1 Philip Lim is inspired by a mutual awe of nature, each element a celebration of botanical forms and expressions. Mind you, there were other products from this line with Philip Lim, including like some hair ties, a headscarf. Who is Philip? Is this a... Now I'm mad curious. I think it's an Asian woman. Apparently it's an entire brand. Oh, they have clothes and shoes and handbags. Definitely at like a luxury price point. Like the shoes start at $300-400 a pair, and I'm thinking that this is an Asian designer. I can't find it now, but basically that was a weird rabbit hole. But essentially it's a detangling comb. It's made from 95% post-consumer polypropylene. 70% recycled fiber. And I think polypropylene is plastic. So it's all of that to say it's a very, very sturdy plastic comb. I don't know why we just went on this journey, but we did. Anyway, that comb was originally $15 with the it was with 50% off plus an additional 20% off. I ended up paying $6 for it. And then the last thing that I picked up was a overnight hair mask from Bumble and Bumble. Now, again, going back to like my hair, I'm very, very particular about it. So I typically don't tend to stray away from the brands that I know work on black hair. But I saw this Bumble and Bumble hair mask. It's called their overnight damage repair mask. And essentially, you're supposed to put it in your hair. It's supposed to make it super like silky and hydrated, and then you wash it out the next morning. And I've been wanting something like this because when it comes to deep conditioning, I don't like it. I don't like having to go in the bathroom, shampoo my hair, then put deep conditioner, come out the bathroom, sit down for like an hour for it to sink in, and then go back in the bathroom and wash it out. That just seems like a long time for me. So I'm hoping that this mask can help deep condition while I sleep. So that when I wake up in the morning and I wash my hair, which I don't do daily, because if you black, you know, we're not washing our hair every day. It's once a week, and it's a whole day thing. So I'm hoping that this is a way for me to deep condition my hair while I sleep. That was really roundabout. Anyways, so it says apply on dry hair once or twice a week for deep nourishment. Leave on overnight and then wash out with your favorite shampoo and conditioner. And it doesn't say anything about the type of hair this is supposed to work on, but it's neither here nor there. And it has camellia oil. I don't know what kind of oil it is. And I'm gonna open this. Oh, it smells nice. It's just a little white hair mask. It smells delicious. She's a little jiggly. Okay. So this hair mask was originally $51 and it was on sale for $20. So, all right. So that was the last thing that I ended up paying with the last thing I ended up purchasing with my own money. And then I got this gift bag with free samples. So like I said, they do such a good job at always giving me a ton of samples, which I fully appreciate. So first up, I'm going to pull out these cards, because there's a ton of them. And this is the Clinique Acne Solutions Clearing Gel. So it looks like this might be a cleanser. Yeah, wait. No, am I supposed to wash this off? Nope, this is a leave-on treatment with 1% salicylic acid. So if you have acne-prone skin, it's basically a sample size of that. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So honestly, a week's worth of this, like, basically leave-on salicylic acid acne treatment. Next up, I have 2 masks from the Origin. These are decent sizes. I could probably get 2, maybe 3 uses out of each of these. More like 2. So this is their Glow Boosting Mask. And it doesn't look like this is a wash-off treatment. It says apply a thin layer to clean skin, then gently massage into skin to activate encapsulates. Use daily for optimal results. Okay. I'm intrigued by that. But most excitingly, it also came with 2 samples of the Tom Ford Rose d'Amalfi fragrance. Like, look at this. Isn't this so cute? No, this is truly a sample size. So you're only getting, I don't even know if this is 1 ounce, but it's basically this little bottle of fragrance. I don't know what this one smells like, but let's see. Ooh. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's so nice. Now, my store tends to be pretty stocked when it comes to the Tom Ford fragrances. You should have seen that in the little walkthrough that I did for you guys. One thing I will say about them is that I don't think they sell like crazy. So I have actually gotten 2 fragrances for 75% off at my CCO, 2 Tom Ford fragrances. And I must have stacked it with another coupon. Because like I said, I'm always there. And they always give me the extra 10 or 15 or 20% off. And the CCO tends to do a lot of sales. Like, we are entering Black History Month, and it's the month of love. So, you know, Valentine's Day is coming up. So I honestly won't be surprised if there's going to be a Valentine's Day sale where they do an extra 20% off on top of what they already have. If you didn't know, the standard pricing for the CCO is that fragrance and makeup and hair care are all 40% off if you spend, I believe it's less than $125. And that's off the retail price. Granted, these things, no, I don't think it's the retail price. I think it's, no, off the retail price. Granted, you can clearly tell the products that they sell are really, really expensive. So it's easy to hit that 40% off mark. If you spend above the $125, you get 50% off instead of 40% off. And again, these products are so expensive that it's so easy to get to that 50% off mark. So I definitely say go into your little Googles, see if you have a CCO near you, and check it out. Also, you can check out the online store. The online store gives you a significantly smaller discount than the in-person store. And I don't think I said this, but like I said, hair care, fragrance, makeup, 50% off. Skincare, however, is 30% off unless they say otherwise. Every now and then, they'll do a 60% off of skincare for specific brands. But like I said, follow them on Instagram. Check out their website because you'll see when they have these sales, which are a lot more frequent than you think. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. Leave your comments down below letting me know what you thought about this somewhat different video. I know. I'm trying to be extra. Well, not extra, but I'm trying new things. So let me know how you're feeling about the new videos. Do you want to see more? What do you want to see more or less of? All of that. And you know the drill. Orange hearts all around. You get an orange heart and you get an orange heart. I'm sorry. I'm real hyped today, you guys. But that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all so much more than you know. And I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.